Hello YouTube, it's your girl Kimberly. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you won't miss out any of the great videos that I make for my channel, whether it's hair, nails, tech, beauty, all the things. Also like this video if you like this video, and let's get into it. So the topic of today's video is going to be a review of Priority Pass. Now some of you might know what Priority Pass is, other people are like I don't really know about Priority Pass. So let's get into it. So what is Priority Pass? When you go to the airport, you've probably seen these lounges and you're like, what's going on in the lounge? How do you get in the lounge? Priority Pass is a way for you to get into some airport lounges. Now I'm going to say a lot of emphasis on the some. There's certain lounges where Priority Pass does not work. For example, Delta lounges. At this point you have to either have the Delta 1 or be some specific designation with Delta, or you have to have a platinum or higher level American Express card, something to that effect, right? So basically it doesn't work for every lounge. There's some lounges where it's going to be branded as a certain brand and it doesn't work, so that's unfortunate. But for the most part, every airport that has multiple lounges, usually one or two of the lounges in your terminal will be a Priority Pass lounge, so you'll still have access to the other lounges. You just maybe can't use certain ones. So me personally, I've never been to an airport terminal where none of the lounges were Priority Pass and they were all other brands. So there's usually always one lounge you can get into. Now when you sign up for a Priority Pass, you basically get the opportunity to go to these lounges depending on the plan you have, and there's different logistics within like the different plans and stuff, but I'm just going to speak from my experience. I also have some information from their website that I found to share with you guys. To be honest, I have Priority Pass through an American Express card, so I wasn't necessarily sure about like the cost and the prices and all that stuff, so that's why I looked it up. But as somebody who has it through American Express, I probably should have more details about it through my American Express card, but my experience has been that for the most part, I just show my card, I go to the amount of lounges a year I could go to, and if I want to bring a friend, then I usually pay for them, and then or I have like a certain amount that I could bring them free to, but the price is not that much. So we're gonna go through what the website says. So I'm gonna put the pricing here from the website. Okay, you guys see the pricing. So the standard plan, $99, and then it's $35 for you to visit. Then they have the regular US plan. Look like they have a little discount going on at the time of the filming of this video, so you can see that price. And then they have the prestige one where you could go as much lounges as you want to, and then the value, and then if you have a guest, you pay for the guest. So I'm gonna try to attempt to show you guys the app without sharing my personal information, because that would be a bad thing. Of course I'm logged out, and do I know what my password is? Let's see. Login. I do know my password. Does that happen to anybody else where every time it's like enter your password, you be like, and it's my account, do I know my password? That's crazy. Boom. So this is what, oh, the ring light might be messing this thing up. Okay, so this is what the app looks like, and as you can see, there's like information, general travel tip information, and at the top of the screen is a search bar. So what you do in the search bar is you put the airport code. So let's say for New York is JFK. That's John F. Kennedy Airport, right? So JFK. When you put in JFK, it's going to show you, sorry, I have to angle the screen because I feel like, yeah, it reflects and you can't see it. It's going to show you all the different terminals where there are lounges, right? So then you're going to, so let's click on Terminal 1. That's usually the one I'm flying out of. So once you click on the terminal, it's then going to show you all the different lounges that you could go to. So we're going to click on one lounge just so you guys could kind of see what it shows you for each lounge. So when you click on the specific lounge, it's going to show you the name of the lounge, the times that the lounge is open, the amenities within the lounge, and then you could upload pictures to the lounge. It's going to tell you the location of the lounge. So in the airport, you know, there's like a whole long hallway and there's all these different doors. So this is going to tell you what gate it's close to, so that way as you're walking through the airport, you could be like, okay, so this one is close to gate 3, so let me find gate 3 and then I'll be able to find this lounge. So it gives you the location, where to go, and then it tells you the conditions basically on who could get in, age limits, age restrictions, anything like that, because this is also international, so different countries have different rules and regulations, especially when it comes to like alcohol and stuff like that. So any kind of conditions is going to be in here, and then there's additional information in terms of what's going on with protocols and stuff like that. We are slowly, COVID is still a thing, but we're slowly moving into a new kind of world, so there's less additional information. But before, additional information was like, wear your mask, stay 6 feet away from other people. You get what I'm saying? So, but now additional information is like, you know, if you try to use their phones to make international calls, you will have to pay a fee. So use your own phone. Let me stop. That's not what they're saying, but that's just like some of the information that's listed. So and then at the top, if you scroll through, there's like different pictures of what the inside of the lounge looks like, so you could kind of know what to expect. So you have a personal card where it has your I'm not going to show y'all this because it's going to show my information, but then you have your digital membership card. You also get a physical membership card that looks like a credit card that you could keep in your wallet, but you get the digital membership card so that way they could scan you and you'll get into the lounge, proving that you have a priority pass. And then there's general account information that tells you how many visits you're entitled to, how many visits you used. Visits pending is when they first scan you, and then it's like processing, and then once you're there and you leave and you get on your plane, you're gonna see it go to visits used and it won't be pending anymore. And then it tells you in terms of your allotment, if you go over your amount of visits, how much you would have to pay, different stuff like that. And then there's also in the app a help, like if you need customer service help, and then there's also an indoor airport map, so it'll show you a map of the specific airports that you say you're at. I know that for my experience, it's been that for most airport lounges, you can't get into the lounge until it's 2 hours before your flight. So your girl struggles with mental math, so we're gonna keep this real simple. If you have a 3 o'clock flight, most lounges won't let you in before 1 o'clock. The reason being, all the priority pass people are trying to use the lounge. Also, there are other credit cards and stuff where it's like, oh, if you show your platinum discovery card, you can get into this lounge. So there are lots of people trying to get into the lounges. So with that being said, if you show up to the airport a gajillion hours early, you can't necessarily just chill in the lounge all day. There's some lounges where they might make an exception and be like, okay, you can come in and you can stay earlier, but some lounges will also be like, 2 hours before your flight, come back and we'll let you in. Especially because of delayed flights and things that are happening and changing at these airports, there's sometimes when the lounge is at capacity because of fire marshal rules. So it's the same way, only a certain amount of people could be in the supermarket, only a certain amount of people could be in the lounge. And when the lounge gets too full, they will say, we're not accepting anybody else additionally. The good thing about Priority Pass is you can jump back in the app and then find the next lounge in the terminal and then just go there. But just know that everybody is doing that. So it might be the same thing at the closest 2 or 3 lounges. They might be like, oh, we're at capacity. So you might want to just go to that last lounge first, so that way you could beat the crowds before everybody figures out which lounge has empty spots. All the people I've been to airport lounges through Priority Pass in multiple countries. Nobody treats you like you're a second class citizen because you have Priority Pass and you don't have the actual credit card or what you need to get in. So for instance, some lounges are like the first class lounge, and I just have a regular ticket and priority pass, and nobody's like, oh, you know, you're not supposed to be in the lounge. Like, I never had that experience. Everybody's been super nice. Some of the lounges are a little older, need a little more TLC, but they're still clean for the most part. They just will look a little 90s retro kind of looking, but they're still clean for the most part. The reason why I think priority pass is great if you are a frequent traveler is because airport food and drinks are expensive. Shout out to JFK. The reason why I even got I specifically got my credit card to get priority pass because I was traveling for work, and this was clearly not a work meal or anything like that, and I was just like, I'm just going to treat myself to get something nice for me. I went to the restaurant. I got a chicken Caesar salad, a bowl of soup, and maybe 3 glasses of wine, and that bill came up to $125. And I was like, oh, never again. Nope, team lounge me please. In the lounges, not only do they have food, they have alcoholic beverages like wine, and they also have what people call like hard liquor, so like tequila, vodka, scotch, whiskey, brandy, that kind of stuff. They have that too. They have sodas, drinks, not drinks, soda, tea, coffee, water, sparkling water. Sometimes they'll have like a little fruit water if they're fancy. They also have food, so they're gonna have salads, soups, hot food, chicken, beef, fish, everything you can imagine. If you are a vegetarian, I will say now in 2023, I first started using priority pass in 2019. So in 2023, there's a way more vegetarian options. I don't think I've seen any vegan options, but also you have to, that's one of those things where you ask and they probably have vegan options, but they just don't leave them out. So I would definitely say you can contact some of the lounges in advance, like on the phone. So if you are vegan, I would say call them and ask first. And if you're thinking about getting priority pass but you're not sure, whatever your local airport is, call and see. Just call the lounges and be like, do y'all have vegan food? Because I honestly don't know, and I know that's a thing. But if you have a traditional eating style, not traditional because that makes it seem like vegan is weird, I don't know, if you eat meat and cheese, they're gonna have stuff for you. But they also have salads, they have sandwiches, burgers, like all kinds of stuff, sliders. I had some pulled pork. I went to the lounge in Charlotte, North Carolina. I had pulled pork sliders and they was good. I also had a zucchini slider that was good too, and it was vegetarian. I was like, okay, zucchini slider, what? No, it wasn't zucchini slider, it was an eggplant slider. It was really good, the eggplant slider. Anyway, they have food. So yes, you're paying for this membership and it seems like a lot in advance, but if you travel more than 3 or 4 times a year, if you add up the food and drink of what you would have paid for, even if you go to the airport and get McDonald's, it'd be expensive. I went to the Dominican Republic, I got Wendy's, I got chicken nuggets, fries, and a drink, and that thing came up to at least $20. And I was like, $20 US? Oh my God, like this is just Wendy's. So and I had already been to the lounge too, but I was flight was delayed, so you know, ended up getting more things because I left the lounge and I should have waited. That's another thing. Wait until your flight is actually saying boarding before you leave the lounge. Okay, stay in the safety of the lounge until the app says your flight is boarding. Okay, because you might not be able to get back in. But yeah, so it's really, I've had such a good experience with priority pass. It has changed my life when it comes to traveling. A lot of times, especially the flights are next to each other, so even if you go to your gate, you can't even really sit next to where you need to be at because there's so many people and hoopla. Yes, there's people in hoopla in the lounge, but it's more muted because it's not that much space and you literally looking at people's faces. So normally when people bring their kids in the lounge, they're like more well behaved. One, because they get all the food and snacks they want, and there's TVs in the lounge and stuff, and sometimes they'll be like, what y'all want to watch? Like, okay, we're gonna put it on Cocomelon or whatever, Paw Patrol or something, and then the kids are excited, and now all the kids in the lounge are quiet and watching Paw Patrol. So Priority Pass definitely makes it easier in terms of going to the lounges, finding the lounges, knowing in advance where you could go, and being able to relax before your flight. Being in the airport in general could be a stressful experience, so just coming to the lounge to chill, get the things you need, and be out is really helpful, especially if you are a frequent traveler. I'm telling you, you do have to pay for it every year, so definitely calculate, like, if you know this year I'm gonna go, I got a wedding, I got this, I got that, especially since we're coming up on the about to be 2024. If you're looking at your 2024 calendar and you're like, okay, I got homecoming, I got this, got my that, all these places I'm trying to go, like, and you're flying every time, you're gonna want to go ahead and get that Priority Pass. I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. It is such a great experience, and it's so easy to use. It's not even that complicated. Like, the app is so simple and it has a great user experience. You're gonna love it. Okay, so that's my personal rubber stamp of approval. I think Priority Pass is wonderful. People who I know in real life, I always be telling them, like, you should get it if you travel a lot. So just wanted to say the same thing to y'all internet friends, okay? So if you do have any questions about, like, the process and all of that, leave it in the comment section below and I will try to get to those questions and answer it, okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.